Hi friends, Mel Bell here. My goodness, we are going through a very tumultuous time. 2020 has no chill button, does it? This is going to be a message from Spirit, and we're just gonna ask the universe and our divine teams what the message is for today. And I'm going to pull a few cards and relay that message to you all. So for these messages from Spirit, I do not prepare ahead of time. And so today I was guided to pull from the Angel Tarot deck, which I don't often use. So this should be interesting. But that is the deck that wanted to come out today, so we're going to go ahead and run with that. There is smoke. That is real. That's just my incense. Calling on Archangel Michael to protect us all and protect this channel and the information that comes through. I'm sending love and light from the angels to you all. And the first message I get is don't forget to breathe. So when we're stressed out, we tend to shallow breathe. And that's really not good for your health. And it can stress you out. And when you're not getting enough oxygen to your brain, it can make you confused, make it hard to focus. It can make you depressed. It can make you anxious. And so sometimes you just need to take a moment and breathe and deep down into your belly breathing. This is good to do before you go into sleep, when you're laying down to go to sleep. Just taking some nice, really deep belly breaths. That will also bring you to a place of peace and relaxation to help you sleep. If your sleep is challenged right now, there's nothing wrong with having yourself some kind of herbal tea to bring you to a state of peace and to help you sleep. There is a need right now to, as spiritual folk, to do things more than you normally do, such as smudging and grounding and shielding and all that good stuff. So we can't use our regular methods and routines without giving it an oomph, like adding something to it, because what's going on in the world right now is going to have a major effect on us. And there's so much energy. There's so many things that are happening right now. And so that will affect us. And we have to acknowledge that, and we have to stand up to the challenge. For those watching this, you probably have a spiritual arsenal. You have a spiritual toolbox, you know how to use it, so make sure you're using it every day to protect yourself from energies that don't belong to you. Because right now also we are purging and we are releasing things, and that can make us vulnerable. So these kind of healing times call for extra protection, just because of the random negative and chaotic energies. Okay, let's see here. What do we got going on? So I dropped a card. Let me go ahead and get that card because it's probably important. Alright, what is this one? Okay, that's interesting. So I'm not going to read from the book on this. I'm just going to go from what I see. And let's start with this one. So there we go. This is the 9 of Fire. So these angel tarot cards, they're kind of They're changed a little bit from the traditional tarot cards. And it says, don't give up, protect that which you've created, have courage and believe in yourself. This has a dragon on it, and not everybody knows that dragons are known for the co-creators of magic. So if you are using magic in your daily life, you may have a dragon. They call them co-magicians. Dragons are elemental creatures. Well, I should say astral creatures. They work in the astral realm, and when you are manifesting things, you are sending things up through the astral realms, and the lower astral levels interact very heavily with our planet and our physical earth. And so it's helpful to have allies in the astral realm who can help move your energy out of those levels and get past them, so that those manifestations can go all the way up and then come all the way back down and manifest into the physical world. So anything that you're manifesting is going to first go up. It's a thought. It manifests in the spiritual realms, and then it comes down and manifests into the physical. So key thing, the spiritual affects the physical, and the physical affects the spiritual. We have the Queen of Air, and it says independent, experienced, realistic, witty, objective decision making, clearing away all that no longer serves you, seeing the humor in a situation. So this is really poignant to me. Again, there's manifestation there. She's gazing at this crystal ball that has a unicorn in it. It's all very magical energy that we've got going on, and a clearing away all that no longer serves you. So there can be a lot of things coming up for you from the past and from past lives, and I've spoken on this before, but I guess it bears repeating because we're still going through it. So now is the time to purge. Now is the time to examine why you're feeling the way you're feeling. When you are triggered by something, what is it triggering and why? Because this is a time where you have this great opportunity to be able to move that energy out of you once and for all. So seriously take advantage of this moment and this time, and give yourself permission to let things go that no longer serve you. The past is the past, and we can romanticize the past, and also we can feel responsible for things we did in the past, and sometimes we seek forgiveness for things we've done in the past by carrying the pain, and feeling that is the only way you can be forgiven is to suffer, and continue to suffer with this guilt and this sadness. And that is not serving you or anybody else. And to remind you, you are not at your best if you are holding those kind of things. And the people who love you, and the people you love, and the people you want to love and show up as your best self for them, you can't do that if you're carrying all this luggage around. And this goes for single people, but also goes for parents. Everybody has different relationship dynamics. And also, like, if you have no relationship dynamics, let's say that you just cut off, even then, those very things may be blocking you from making your connections with others. So please capitalize on this moment. Make sure that you're making space for yourself to focus on yourself, because there's so many things going on that it may trigger the warrior in you that feels that you need to be 100% engaged all the time and fighting for the good cause, but there's things going on with you individually that require attention and deserve attention. You're deserving of taking this moment to refine yourself and to bring your full self to the surface and awaken your true self. Now, when we talk about awakening our true self, we are talking about all the things that we've learned through childhood. You know, you can have the most wonderful parents and they will still put their beliefs on you in some way or another, whether it's purposeful or not. It's just natural as a human, as a parent wants to love you and raise you in a certain way so that you can be a good person. They are taking those lessons from things they've learned from their past, how they were raised. And then we also have society. Right now, I'm getting really strongly beauty, how we view beauty in society, and feeling like you don't amount up to the vision of beauty. Feeling self-conscious and not feeling beautiful in your own skin. That is not a superficial thing, because your true self, your spirit shines. And the more that you let go of negative thoughts about yourself, of past life karma, of karma in this life, and not just karma, but also just what people have told you, and what you've been conditioned to believe. The more you let go of that, the more you find the beauty within yourself, and you're unique. And that's a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing. And that is where awakening your true self is so important. And that is how you get to it, is going through all of the stuff. Going through all the stuff and pitching away whatever no longer serves you. And when you feel guilty about something that you did in your past, you can only say, I will make better choices now. I will make better choices today. I will make better choices tomorrow, because you can't undo the past. There's nothing you can do to change what is done. But your power lies in the now, the right now. And so I've got Archangel Gabriel, and it's awakening Archangel Gabriel. Look at things from a different perspective, a temporary standstill. It's important to be yourself. So you might find things on pause right now, and just know that's a divinely guided pause. That doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong or that you are missing something. Sometimes it's hard to be still. It's hard to be still and let things happen. And when we are integrating, so as when we're purging and removing things, we're also integrating things. And during times of integration, we have to pause, and we have to let that process happen. So sometimes the pause just makes you feel like you're not doing something right, or you're missing a piece of the puzzle. But it's actually a time for integration. The best thing you can do for yourself during a time of integration is to focus on things, to let energy move through your body. That's through stretching, that's through yoga, that's through exercise, that's through meditation and breathing practices, doing things that help your body, your physical body, move what is going on in your physical and spiritual bodies. Because as I said, the physical affects the spiritual, vice versa. And I've got the Nine of Earth, enjoying life's little luxuries, spending quiet time alone, and successful self-employment. So, Nine of Earth, okay? She looks pretty happy, doesn't she? I feel like there is an opportunity for a lot of people to start reassessing their financial flow and where that money comes from. And you might find that a side business will bring you some blessings that will kind of release the fear of having that one job that you might lose. Having some creative outlet, or even speaking like me, and doing readings on the side. There's all sorts of different creative ways to bring in more income, and it is a way to empower yourself. It's a way to separate yourself from the powers that be on this planet, and not having so much of your control in this one corporation that you work for. So having a side business is very empowering. And so I definitely recommend looking into how you can make money. And again, musicians are coming up. Music has been coming up a lot lately. And so however you factor that in. Also, when I speak on creativity, this is also a way to remove your mind from what you should be doing. You know, sometimes we just have to get out of our own way to let the blessings come through. And so when you're focused on creativity, you are keeping your mind busy, you're expressing, you are engaged with your inner child, and your source of creativity is your inner child. And so while that's happening and while you're doing that, you are not focused on the problems. You're not focused on the stress of what's going on in your life. And so then you're able to make this great space for these blessings to come through. And sometimes we ask for help, and then we say, please help me with this, and then we focus right back on the problem. Now, your words said, I need help, but your actions say, I still need to try to fix this myself. And you always have your free will. And so your actions have to match your words when you are sending prayers up and asking for assistance. And also, you're never alone in this. And so continue to ask. And if you feel like you're alone, or if you feel like your faith is tested, or you're not getting the support you need, be honest about that. Be honest about that and say, please help bolster my faith. I have doubts. Please shine on me. Please send love to me. Please help me to feel supported and comforted and loved. Let's see. I think there's one more card in here. And so I read these cards not as tarot cards at all. I'm just reading it based on what the messages are in the images. And the angels are very busy right now. But they can be in more than one place at one time. And you are worthy to work with them at all times, regardless of what's going on in the world and who needs angels. You always can call on the angels, and they can always answer you, regardless of what's going on in the world. Oops. Okay, is that the one? Open your heart and mind to those around you. Trustworthy and heartfelt advice, charity work, okay? So another way to feel fulfilled right now is to get yourself involved in some worthy causes. I want to stress that you need time away from the media, away from the news, away from what's going on in the world. It is important to be engaged with what's going on in the world, but not 100% of the time. It's bad for your health. It's bad for your mental health and your psyche. And so you need to be carving out time for peace. You deserve to be peaceful in this time. And that doesn't mean you don't care. It just means that you consider yourself valuable and worthy enough to take the time out. Also, as spiritual people right now, we are conduits for positive energy. So the more that we are raising our vibration and doing our spiritual work and our emotional work and our purging, we are providing energy to the divine feminine so that she can do what she needs to do on this planet. So even when you are not active, you are still active. So you want to consider yourself as a light portal. You are a beam of light on the planet, and you think about people who are like you and just envision all of these beams of light across the world, and they are all contributing to the good just by being a vessel and being in that space. So that's the King of Water. And this also talks to me about the masculine, about God, about your emotions. And so the masculine side of the divine, because it's both feminine and masculine, that father energy, that comforting energy, if you have issues with the masculine, if that everything that's going on can be triggering your relationship with God, because the masculine is wounded, and we're seeing a lot of that kind of energy right now, which can affect our relationship with God. But just don't confuse what's happening on this earthly plane with the divine masculine, because the divine masculine is a force that is healed. It is not wounded. We are experiencing the wounds. We are purging. We are healing. We are evolving. And evolving is not always comfortable. And just because it's not comfortable does not mean it's not necessary or good. Sometimes change hurts. Sometimes evolving hurts. You think about a caterpillar stuffs itself till it can't eat anymore, and then it goes into a cocoon, and then it turns into mush, and then grows into this butterfly. That's a very deep process. And so keeping that in mind, you are transforming to be something so powerful. And you are already powerful, but we're just becoming more of who we are. And that's a process that takes time. That's an emotional thing. It can be a physical, painful thing. And the tools are there for you to ease this transition for yourself, and this transformation that we're all individually going through, but also experiencing as a whole. So because we're now in the time of group consciousness, we are experiencing things at the same time together. Everybody's individual story is going to look different. However, we're going to be experiencing more things together. Well, that was a lot. And I'm just going to interesting. So I got, we're already 22 minutes in. I'm not doing good on time, you guys. This is interesting. So it says, fear surrounding money, the wisdom to accept help from others, and uncertain self-employment. So again, that's coming up again. Find creative ways to make money. And I think that's a very important message that's coming through to us. And also feeling worthy of receiving help from people on the planet. Now, God can't come down and hand you some money to help you with a bill. He can't just put his hand down and say, here you go. So the divine powers that be work through people, and you have to be willing to receive that assistance, and don't feel like you have to suffer through everything alone. If someone decides that they have the help to give you and the money to give you, then accept that gratefully and be very grateful about it. And if you feel like you can't pay them back, light a candle for that person. Send some happy energy to them. Send them blessings. Ask the angels to be with that person, because that's powerful energy as well. That's currency. That energy is currency as well. So I think that we're done here. I wanted to say that I do personal readings, and you can get an email reading from me, which will basically come to you in a PDF, and it will have images of the cards that I pulled for you. You can choose a certain subject that you want to talk about, you want to hear about, or it could be a general reading. If you are receiving this video through Facebook, please like and subscribe, because I will not always be paying on Facebook for you to see my videos. So understand, please, that when you see my video from my page, Cosmic Awareness on Facebook, it's because I paid for that promotion. Facebook does not show my posts to anybody without that happening. So I won't be able to continuously do that. It's important to subscribe so that you don't lose me, and that you are able to find the messages when you need them. So I thank you all very much for your time. Take care, and brightest blessings to you. Bye.